Let's go back to TA.
Hey man, I apologize to Ross.
It just didn't.
And
Ross. I just shouted Ross and
Hog Marshall.
Ross and Marshall.
And Burke. I just shouted Ross and Burke out one day. Give them their flowers while they're here. Love y'all boys. Marshall, man. Ooh, Marshall. Can't block it either. I got the Taylor as a freshman, man. He had so many jumpers on me. I don't even send me back home crying, man. Him and Butch, man, made me go to Kane Park and work out more. Butch did me so wrong one day.
And lunch.
Yeah, at lunch, yep. But no, Butch got me on a Saturday, you know, we used to be up there Saturday.
Regular Saturday.
Butch ripped me for game point, went the other way. I was killing that game too. Butch showed me how much I wasn't nothing that day. I went down to Kane Park for hours after that, hours.
No, you know, Butch gonna guard though.
Yeah, he
gonna
sit down. He can guard.
He waiting on that. He waiting on you to do something crazy with the ball. You leave it out there. He taking it.
Right. So that Taylor, like, that experience is just like, any memories that come from there, any guys you think about, just, it can be, take your time in no rush. Anything you can think about. Because it's just, like you said, from Ross to Marshall to certain games, the guys you met through there who you didn't know before you went to Taylor was just one of the best experiences ever for me.
One of the best, man.
I wish I had took care of better business in school. I could have played some ball for Heights, I didn't. But Taylor, man, Taylor made you feel like you was somebody, man.
Man, TA was like, so I think I was like 14, 15, and my cousin Chris used to hoop back then. And so he took me, I think we got on the bus that day. And you know what I'm saying, we go up to TA, but they wouldn't let me play. I'm young, you know what I'm saying, but I'm watching. Excuse me, and I see Andre Willard. Like,
Dre Will.
Just come down.
Sticks and Buns.
Man, Sticks and Buns, man.
Instagram, Sticks and Buns, y'all. Shout out Dre Willard.
Man, he come down, make a move, and just take off on a dude. Boom. I'm like, man, he ain't that tall. I'm like, he could do that at that size?
Man, you know what? Now that you say that, don't believe where you at. My boy Rico Slaughter, we're with you, I love you to death. But I remember when Dre drop stepped and banged on you, man. I had to say that because it was at Taylor. It was just drop step. Just
Rico, boom, TA legend.
Boom, Rico, yeah. Rico Slaughter.
It's so many dudes, but it lets you know how much talent was in the Heights, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's so many
guys
dudes.
Guys with other schools, guys that never sued them. Leroy Godfrey.
Leroy Godfrey, Red Ball.
Oh, my goodness. The Victor Milligans,
Twan.
Oh, Gerald. Gerald, what's Gerald last name? Lester, right?
Yeah, I think Lester.
Man, Gerald, class of 02 Lester.
Man.
This guy could have been amazing, man. And what you say, what was the coach used to always say when you can't get on the, was it
Chuck Lamb.
Coach
Lamb. We trying to get him to do no homework. He like, but preseason, he kill everything. You know what I'm saying? But it's so many more, man.
Even take it back to Kevin Armstrong's, to the CC's.
Yeah, the 80s.
Oh man, there's so much talent in our area. Then you go up to the Dale Thomases who didn't make it there. The Desmond Rittenhouse later on. Joe Davis, Mark.
All the cats who, you know.
Marcus Johnson, St. Mary. It's and like I tell dudes, I'm not trying to be funny or not trying to be, I'm just saying I think we had the best hoopers having them through middle schools. You can't show me anywhere else in Cleveland that from what I know. I'll be 39 in July, but from what I know, from the Bruce Stories to the Aaron Nixon to James Lewis, man, Ryan Powell.
You name anybody who played at Heights.
And there was another one, Ryan Powell.
They got groomed in TA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They got groomed in TA. Period.
Darren, oh man.
I remember when Darren was too young to even hoop with us. Like, he would be hooping in the early session.
Yeah, early. You gotta get there early.
Right. And then, you know what I'm saying, we come in, he had to sit down and watch. And we know what he turned out to be. You know what I'm saying? Duck, same way. Like,
hey, you know what? That junior year going into 03, Duck and them senior year, I was watching him at TA that summer.
man,
I knew something special was coming.
Man,
Duck came from nothing to.
Man, he was killing people at TA.
Man,
so.
Duck was going into that senior year.
That's why his first game he had 39.
Yeah, and guess what? He had 39 on Minter again later on in the year.
Oh, they
We
played
beat Minter at the buzzer, I think. He hit a 3. Or maybe a 2. Yeah, he had 39 on Minter twice. And I think we beat him both times.
Man, he probably
Had one of the best.
is the most improved player in a high school career.
Oh,
Like,
break it down.
I mean,
I'm trying
when
to
you talk about Theo Dixon, Jamal Harris, Damian String, like all these dudes was who they were at a young age.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you expected like them to be who they were and became. But as a junior, he was coming off the bench.
Yeah, right.
You see what I'm saying? So for you to come back and average 26, 27 a game and be
And then
the county player of the year and all
along with
that.
B.J. Johnson. They shared it that year.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody saw that before that. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm saying
You're right.
that he might be the most,
You're right.
like,
He
made a
was
drastic change. You know what
he
I'm
was
saying?
killing guys at TA that summer. I mean,
He was killing us.
to another level. Yeah.
I was there. It took part in it. I'm like, man.
So that's most improved, huh?
I think so. You know what I'm saying? I think so.
Oh, man. That's deep. Yeah, that 03 team. You know, another thing that came to my mind, too, was, now, tell me, how many home games did you lose as a in your whole high school career? If you can remember. 1? And you know what?
My last game.
Duck
Senior night.
Duck's senior year, 03, and then going on to Darren's senior year, 04. I'm pretty sure, now I know, I'm not going to say pretty sure, I guarantee I know, they went undefeated at home both of those years. So they brought back the tradition a little bit later on. And like, ain't nobody coming here and win no more.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody coming in
I
here.
lost my last game at Heights to
US. Good game, close game, or they set everybody out or what?
No, we just.
I mean, because of the, not basketball is different. You don't set them out because of the record.
We came in on some cocky shit, like thinking, oh, we playing US. Man, they came in on it.
You remember what they got us by?
I have no idea.
You remember any players on that team?
I just know Antonio McClatty, that's it.
I remember that name.
He the only person.
Senior, your senior year, right?
Yeah.
Only game.
Yeah.
Wow, last one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Went all backwards.
Wow.
One LEL game too.
What year was it?
My freshman year.
So-
That's all.
Oh, that's all. Yeah. They had some good teams back then.
No, it was tough.
Yeah, that Taylor, man. Taylor's something else.
Man, I ride past it. Every time I ride
I love
past
Taylor,
TA,
man.
even though they got that brick wall right there where you can't see in the gym, it still looked like you could see in there to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
With the ropes on the thing.
Yes.
'Cause, you know what I'm saying? It brought back so many memories. Like when I first got the coaching job, they was doing they was turning the gym at TA into the auto mechanic shop. So they was like, had a little buggy thing, digging the floor up and taking the floor out. I'm like,
Man.
like I wanted to go see who
That was like right
who
after they
authorized this.
closed it, right?
Do y'all know what this gym? Y'all know how many people came out of this gym?
Oh, man, that was a bad day.
You know what I'm saying? But, you know.
And I remember it ended up
when you
being
don't
a
know, you don't
library
know.
or something after that. Like for a while, it was like a temporary library. I'm walking in there like, man.
Yeah. They had took the hoops down and everything.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, man, that used to be a place to be.
Yeah.
So now let's get back into, after you left Pitt, you have any looks overseas, or did you just want to be a father, or like how did that go? Or
So my son was about to be 5. Still had, you know, the dreams and aspirations to play. But I went to a couple camps they were shitty. but it was. And so me and my son mom had put him in like this little youth league. And once I saw that like he was ready to start playing and all that, I'm just like, I gotta be around for him to start his journey, you know what I'm saying? So kind of gave it up, but stayed in shape, played all the time. And that's when I got into coaching. I was probably like 23, about 23, 24.
Oh yeah.
Started coaching.
Start coaching on it.
Right.
Oh, that was the first time? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I was
Back
back to the crib.
right that long.
Yeah, back to
Wow.
the crib.
What year you started there? Is that like
It probably was about
traveling over there, right? That was
2000 and what year Traveling come out?
they came out 08.
Him and Chuck.
Yeah, they classified
So they
the same
freshman
too.
year.
So that was
So their freshman year was
07,
04,
06, 04, 05, yeah.
So 04, 05. So that means I started at Heights 03, 04.
Okay, the year before
Yeah.
they got there.
The year before they got there.
Okay, yeah, right. Cause that was Darren was there.
Right.
Darren's senior year.
No,
Or you mean a year after that?
year after
05.
that. Yeah.
Marlon Sanders and them dice.
Hold on. Marlon Sanders and them, y'all.
Senior year.
Marlon Sanders.
You know what? It's glad we bring up Marlon Sanders because, man, that guy was supposed to be something else, man.
No, he was good.
As a freshman, I think they may end up putting him on JV, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Or I don't know what he did, but once he got, because he was a sophomore dunking him senior year, and they played it. He didn't even get to play it on JV. He just sat on the bench, and I felt like he run it. And his junior year, it was Darren's senior year. He didn't get much time.
Right.
I remember him getting some time maybe, and then his senior year, just like I don't know, because that boy he was bad.
No, he was good.
He was real good.
No, he was talented.
And
And
he was sitting on that bench.
that team his senior year was talented. They
Because
just
Dice came out of nowhere. I didn't even know
Dice came
him.
out of nowhere. Didn't know Dice.
Never heard of him.
Dice was a killer though. But they just could never put it together, and I don't know if it was more of Cap being on the back end of his good years, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Playing a part, but and I was too young to really pay attention to
Yeah,
it.
right.
I ain't know the details that I know now then, you know what I'm saying? So, and then I wasn't in there with them for practice because, we was in the East Gym practicing, but that was my introduction though, to, you know what I'm saying, to coaching. I was like, I didn't know if I could do it or not, right? Because it's totally different from playing, but once I started telling them stuff that I knew and they didn't know it, I'm like, oh, well shit, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? So it started a whole nother journey for me. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm at Heights, so.
Now that you say that, you think, well, just from your experiences and from what you think, how do you feel like you say maybe he's on the back end? What exactly do you mean by that? And like, you mean like coaches can be stubborn and they know they should, they're not trying enough, or does a coach ever feel like, hey, I can't do this anymore? You always gonna feel like you can do it, right? You're never gonna, or do you, like looking from whether it's NBA, college, just looking sometimes, you feel like, man, that guy should stop coaching or not even, maybe, because like I know you always say you're only as good as your assistants too. You gotta put faith in them and listen to them. Sometimes what you think it is?
I think every situation is different, but I think man, Cat was there a long time.
And he started in the 70s.
You talking about almost 35 plus years.
Yeah.
And he went through damn near 4 decades of kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So if you ask players from the 70s, they're gonna be like, oh, he was like this. You ask players from the 80s, oh, he was like this. Then you ask us, well, he was like that. You know what I'm saying? And so in all them decades, it was different. And I just think that on that, towards those years, so much had changed. You know what I'm saying? That I don't think he changed. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
Always had talent. Always. From the time he got there until the time he left, he had talent. But you know, you coach different talent different ways. I think the best thing he ever did with us is just let us play. We ain't need you to say a whole lot just in certain situations. Guide us in the right direction. You know what I'm saying? But another team might need more than that. Or a little less, you know what I'm saying? They all different. So you have to be able to gauge what that is. I think his gauge was off at that point. You know what I'm saying? Where he didn't know what he had to do to spark them to be the best they could be. You know what I'm saying? Because they was talented.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Like they was a typical Heights team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Do you think something came to my mind, like I always say, my mind be all over the place. Do you think any guys, like, even from before you got to Heights, just in your knowing, whether you was at Heights, before Heights, or after Heights, you think it's any guys who, like, they don't get their just due, or like people in the streets might not know them and they were real good players? Like, I mean, if you give me a few of those guys offhand, many as you want, but, you know, even if you're taking it back to strong era, to the early 90s, to mid 90s.
I mean, I think
Because I was going to say Butch. I remember he told me he had like 50 in the JV game one time.
so he had, I think Butch had 40 in the JV game and 12 in the fourth quarter of the varsity game against Shaw.
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's cold. That's 52 points to the same man.
Yeah, he had a crazy afternoon. But I say Greg Gaskins, though.
What year he come out?
93.
Greg Gaskins? Gaskins?
See, you don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Like, for you not to know him?
I heard that name plenty of times.
Add strong. Man,
Greg Gaskins or Gaskins?
Gaskins.
That's okay.
So he was double dude every night, and he was. I'm trying to think who I can compare him to. I don't know, man, but he was a double every night, and he was consistent with it. You know what I'm saying? But they talked about Daniel Stringer, Damien Zell. And you talk about him, and he was that dude. Like, he the one that come to my mind. You know what I'm saying?
He came out 93.
93, yeah, my freshman year. He was a senior.
Did he end up going anywhere?
He played at Tiffany, he in their Hall of Fame.
Tiffany? Okay.
Yeah, D2.
Okay.
D2.
Yeah, because I heard that name, you know, here and there, and do you?
Man,
I heard that name. Anybody else come to mind besides him? They're gonna get that just due in the area, like, or even in their own backyard, you know. I'm a little younger than y'all anyway.
You talking about at Heights?
Yeah. Well, you know what? If you wanna, we can go outside of Heights if you want. We can go outside of Heights.
We want to.
Yeah, right.
Like
that's what another segment. That's what another segment.
Like talk about that.
Right.
Dang, man. I mean, I feel like everybody who played, people know him. You know what I'm saying? Like, outside of Greg a super quiet dude, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And then, like how you were saying about how Duck came back and had that year, and was a good player. Like how you say, y'all was cold there. But you know, like an Aaron Nixon didn't have the best high school career, maybe. Became much better after. I'm gonna say Darren had a decent career, yeah, you know, junior and senior year. I don't have to look, because I know his freshman year was Aaron's senior year, so I'm pretty sure he might have played JV, maybe not. But like some guys, you know, they just came along more after, and it just kept getting better. And it's crazy how, you know, Duck got like that. And I didn't really hear too much about him after Heights. I know he went somewhere, I don't know where he went, but I know Aaron and Darren continue to just, you know, remember Aaron on Sports Center hitting that game winner to get in the tournament in the conference championship. Darren hitting all those threes to tie it up and win it, and at West Virginia. So Ron Donaldson went too. Yeah, so.
No, hey, Nick's was special. He one of them dudes where he just could do everything. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was telling them at the Cumberland a few days ago. I was saying.
But at the guard position though. So he boarding, he posting, he blocking shots, he scoring, like, you know what I'm saying? He's a problem.
Big time problem.
No, he was a problem for it. But I never really got to see him in high school because I was in school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, ain't like they were streaming games then.
Right. And you know what's so crazy about his senior year? That was the first time we had been out of districts since, what, 97? Because 98, John Bird beat us at South. 99, I think we might have lost the second game to Seoul. I couldn't believe that. They had to do Eric Sanders. He ended up transferring to Warrensville next year and going on with JK and them. He kind of bullied us. And then I was just talking to somebody about that 99 team, like, it was tough for real, man. But it just couldn't come together, man. And then,
They should have had 3 guards out there at the same time.
Well, Dave,
Brian, and Brandon.
Yeah, because Shaker had got us twice that year. They kind of got at us at Cleveland State earlier in the year.
But they went downstate though.
And then they lost state championship that year. They had a really good team, yeah. But I wanted you know what? They maybe only lost 1 or 2 games that year. They was deep. And then the dude John Higgins didn't even play.
Oh, he got hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt. I'll never forget when they came to Heights, he was in the wheelchair shooting jumpers. Hitting them. Like, man,
He shoot that thing.
Yeah,
I played
Higgins
against
hit
him
him
when I
on
was at
Tennessee.
When I was at Pitt, I played against him.
Yeah. Oh, at Tennessee? Yeah. And they had that Sydney, that dude named Sydney. I don't know if you was hip to him, the dude named Sydney, but yeah, they had Mike Tuck. And I think, man, this guy named Sydney, I think they ended up finding out he was older than what he was, if I'm not mistaken, but this dude was just like,
It was good.
man, I thought back then he was older than 18, man. This dude was just, but yeah, they ended up going to the state championship that year. But yeah, like I said, we played Shaker twice that year, and they got us at Cleveland State early. But, you know, second game, we kept it close with them, and they pulled away at the end. That second game was one of the best games I've seen the 99 team play. Even though they no more victories, but they put a complete game together. But Shaker was a little too much for us that year.
Never lost to Shaker. I don't even.
Another stat.
I don't know that.
That.
That don't even sound right. But you know. But no, I got family members that came out of Shaker. I'm just giving them a hard time. But
yeah, let's give them that.
Wasn't nothing like a Heights Shaw, Heights Shaker, Heights Warrensville on a Saturday morning. You know what I'm saying?
The Warrensville, we never lost to them, did we?
I ain't really lose to
Not in your years.
No.
We played one. Oh yeah, it was twice a year.
Yeah.
Garfield twice a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the good days. And they broke the LEL up. And now, actually, Garfield and Warrens are back in it now.
Back in it, yeah.
Back in it now. Then they split it up one year to like, we probably didn't play every team in the LEL.
Right.
Every
Heights
year.
ain't played Shaw for about 6 years.
Right. But they were still in the LEL.
Yeah.
Yep. And then they started back playing them probably.
When I got there coaching.
Yeah, around then. Yeah,
When I went back though, as a varsity assistant is when we played Shaw for the first time.
Where did you go back as an assistant? Was that?
11, 12.
Oh, that was for your first year. That was Tyree's in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a nice group.
That
too,
team
man.
was-
Tyree didn't get hurt,
that
man.
team
We
was
was
going.
going downstairs.
Oh, we was going for sure.
Tyree, man. When you know what? I knew he was special when we played St. Ed's at the house. You remember that? He was killing St. Ed's. Not too many guys handle St. Ed's. Like that dude. Najee Johnson. That's another one who I felt. He I'm not gonna say he didn't bring it every night, but he just couldn't put it together all the time.
Najee was
But he definitely was talented.
athlete, long arms,
Very
everything.
talented.
I think it was more mental for him.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? At times.
Kojo,
and
yeah.
that's Kojo was the cleanup dude. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he played some good ball.
But no, that team was special, man. We only lost with Tyree playing. We only lost 1 game. Lost to Bedford by 1 point.
Yeah, and that was a day off, right? Yeah, he was
And
killing.
then we came back and beat them by 30 at the house. That's when they got you on video dancing.
I need to see that.
You don't remember that?
I kind of do now. I'm looking for that. Yeah, probably because I was talking that bad.
I'm talking crazy.
Yeah, it's called me the new school Lonnie for a minute sometimes. I said, no, I ain't Lonnie, man.
Yeah, Lonnie's
Lonnie's something different, man. Lonnie's
special, man.
Lonnie is something different, but I was
You can't talk about high school basketball and not talk
Yeah,
about
they
him.
didn't even bring Lonnie up. But, we were just so deep into it, you're going to forget
I've been
some
knowing
things.
Lonnie since I was in kindergarten, bro.
Oh.
You've been the same
Lonnie.
way.
Oh, you came out there?
No, he's a year older than me.
Oh, you know, okay. Yeah.
He been the same way since kindergarten. Same way. I'm talking about same way.
He is nuts. I mean, as far as at the game.
No,
I love it, man.
but he a game changer,
He will get. And I'm telling you can't tell me guys didn't lose games or miss free throws because of him.
He a game changer, man.
He can really distract you if you're on the other side.
He a professional.
He a pro at that.
Yeah, he a professional. That's my dude.
How many years were you in high school assistant?
4.
4? And then went to Central Cali that next year.
Yeah.
Tell me how that went. I mean, how did it, like, somebody call you at a job or somebody say, hey man, you should go check out that Central Cali job is open, or you just, how do you stumble upon even inquiring for that job?
It's funny because I was hooping in the league at the JCC. Jermaine Gay at the foul line.
Jermaine Gay, my boy.
He at the foul line. He want the head coaching job at Central Cali. I'm like, what you talking about? Like, I don't know. He's like, man, do you want the job or not? I'm like, yeah. So he reached out to me. He a Central Cali guy, right? And then Earl Boykins reached out to me, Central Cali guy.
Ooh, Earl.
So the fact that I had never been a head coach, but they trusted me, with their alma mater, I said, shit, I gotta look into it. You know what I'm saying? So I was ready to be a head coach at that point. I felt like but I had some interviews where I thought that I would get the job at a few schools and I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, I'm gonna shoot my shot. The rest is history. Like I actually remember.
That was a good year, great year. Yeah, that was so good.
Yeah. No, I actually remember
special relationship.
Like stopping to holler at J. Rowe to get my face lined up and literally pulling in the parking lot. Like I had to be there at let's say 2 o'clock. I literally pulled in the parking lot at 2 and the AD walked out the door. I'm like, man, I was just on my way in. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't want to be late. And definitely shout out to Grant Inocenzi, who hired me. He was the AD at St. V when Brian and them was there.
Okay, yeah, I remember.
So
I remember saying that. Yeah.
So in my mind, when he hired me, it was like he saw in me what he saw in Drew Joyce. That's how I took it. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. You know what it looks like, and you know what it's like.
And he gave me a shot. Imagine that though.
Oh man,
you know what I'm
good to get a shot.
Your first shot though. You know what I'm saying? Where everybody else told you no. Everybody else told you no.
Right?
14, 15.
Yeah, 14, 15 years.
But everybody else told you no. But the dude that was with Brian and them told you yes. I was like, oh, y'all got this wrong. You know what I'm saying? But it was, you know how you can do something for 10 years, right? And something that you did in 1 year can be more impactful than the thing you did in 10.
Wow.
And that's how that was for me. Like, that's one of the years in my life I'll never forget. The kids, none of that. Everybody that was around.
Man, I still talk to some of them.
Yeah, the whole thing.
I still talk to them.
But, you know, I started putting out, what I was going to do. And I told them from day one, we going to the state championship.
Man,
and meant it. With everything in me, I meant that shit, bro.
Man, this was first, man, those first workouts and everything, man.
Yeah.
I wish we really had that on tape,
saw
man.
that. Right. Nobody saw that on tape. Nobody saw you getting off the bus.
Yeah, my car down. I'm like, man, I'm dead, man. What?
I'm like, man, what?
I'm getting off the bus for
this
down
here.
Right,
15.
I know the RTA very well. The east side.
But it's so crazy though because like it was things like that fueled me though. You know what I'm saying?
You see me getting off the bus.
Yeah, I'm like, if this means this much to him, I got to. Because I drove. I gotta make it happen. You know what I'm saying? So I think
down there before going to work, I'm like,
I think
I'm gonna come and get 30, 40 minutes in to get back on this 15 or because everything ran right there, the 15, 19, the 2, everything going down Broadway by Central. I'm like, I can be to work. Even if I'm 5, 10 minutes late, I'm making up something, man.
Because I know.
Hey, man, the bus. Hey, one time I'll never forget. Don't forget what you're gonna say. But I was like, man, I'm gonna be 10 minutes late, man. I just told him, man, I told him the bus to stop, and he really didn't. The bus is running down Broadway like crazy, man.
Right.
But the one I ain't know where I was coming from. I was coming from the 15 on Union, only one right there.
Yeah.
And the bus broke down, dog.
Yeah.
10, 15 minutes late, man, to go to them central practices, boy. Woo, man, that's why I live in them. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say like you came down there, but it's so many people that kind of like got on the bandwagon once we started winning.
Mm-hmm. I remember you.
Where was you at when it wasn't what it was?
Was with me shooting in the gym.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just laughed at that kind of stuff, but you know, I was gonna be successful regardless, because one, we had the talent, but two, I was gonna put the work in. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely did that.
Man, literally, like physically working out with them cats.
I'm gonna have to tell y'all 2 stories. One you already know.
And
This,
I
was good. Yeah, that
workout story.
Man, you tell them, man. You tell them. But the second one, you know what the second one is. Let's get that out of the way.
What's the second one?
But I tell them, this the only man.
Oh yeah.
Do you know before this guy got to Central Catholic, they never beat St. Ignatius and St. Ed's in the same year. But then we end up beating St. Ed's, St. Ignatius, and the undefeated St. Vincent St. Mary squad that year to go down stage. But tell me the Antoine Little story, man.
So the Antoine Little story. Swan called me and said, Coach, man, I gotta help my grandmother do something, so I'm gonna be a few minutes late. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we did a workout on the stairs on the track.
Yep.
So I did the workout with the team. You know what I'm saying? So once we got in the gym, and he called me again, he like, Coach, I'll be there in a minute. So when he pulled up coming to the gym, and I'm like, he like, Coach, what they do? I'm about to go outside and do what they did. So I started trying to explain to him what we did. I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna just go out here and do it with you. So how old was I then? 14, 15, that was 6 years ago. I'm 43, I was 37. So at 37, I had already did the first workout with the team, but I went back outside and did the same workout with him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that was the day where our relationship just went to a whole new level. Because he like, man,
you did it once already, you gonna do it again with me?
Did it again.
And you really want to do this?
Yeah, and I know, like, every coach can't do it. Like, I can't even do it no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I
you're in great shape still, man.
Right, but my ankle won't allow me.
Oh yeah.
My ankle won't allow me.
About that, and I had to rupture the Achilles, man.
Yeah, but so but at that point I had that. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't do it for me. Like, I did it for him, so he wouldn't be out there by himself. You know what I'm saying? And we got it in. When I tell you I slept like a baby that night, bro, I slept like a baby, man. So, but yeah, our relationship just went to a whole other level at that point, and it just never stopped. You know what I'm saying? They're right into the season, and you know, one thing that I told them before we played St. D was, I referenced the Drake song. We the realest on the rise, fuck them other guys. Yeah. We even gave them a chance to decide not something they know. So I used that little hook because we was on the rise. We was pointing the middle finger to St. D because that was our opponent.
Sure.
Right? The media had a chance to decide who was gonna win. They chose them, as they should. You're the number 3 team in the country, undefeated, and y'all beat us already. You should have chose them. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, we gotta go let these know what time it is.
Yeah.
And that's what we did, man. So, you know, yeah. You talking about tears. Like, to go to downstate in your first year when nobody believed in you, when no other school hired
You know
you,
what?
and your alma mater wouldn't even interview you.
That's deep. I'm thinking that. I'm thinking, has there ever been any coach to go down there first
Central
year?
Catholic had a coach.
Oh, he went down his first year too?
Yeah, Kevin.
Was that when they had Gandhi? Or was his name Grady or Gandhi?
Grady.
Antoine Grady?
Yeah, I think he was younger, but I think he went down his first year.
Because he got one when he was like a sophomore or something, right?
Yeah.
Because I think he might have came out of another.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They got one.
I
think they got
get back
one
down? Yeah.
Did they won
get back,
in 09?
Did they get back down
They
with the
went
same?
back down
As a senior?
and they lost.
And they lost the senior year.
Yeah. I think that's how it went.
Yeah, I had to check it out. Yeah, boy, it was good, man.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Nice out there.
No, for sure.
Speaking of that, I see that guy, who was saying Duncan just moved back there.
Yeah.
I wasn't hip to him playing for them. I was thinking of Michael Mills first, and I said, oh no, Duncan.
He played with them.
Yeah, because they both
he
played
played
with
with
him.
them.
Yeah, so, what's going on now? Like, begin the youth league?
Yeah, so I got 7th grade, and so it's challenging because I had them as 5th graders and they're more mature than they were. Voices changing, body changing, but they still babies though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So kind of gotta like be aware of how I teach them. You know what I'm saying? Because they can learn. So I just try to push just good fundamental basketball stuff on them that they can take with them. My thing is always, I'm trying to prepare you for where you're going, not where you're at. You know what I'm saying? So if they could get to 9th and 10th grade, hopefully I gave them something that they could use for that time period. You know what I'm saying? But I started coaching that grade because I was coaching a C2K elite team. We ended up winning a national championship that year as 8th graders. And I was talking to my youngest son one day, I'm talking to G-Baby. And we had a couple weekends that was conflicts, so I didn't get to see him play. So I called him one morning on a Saturday, I said, look man, I'll be at the game today. He's like, you coming to the game for real? And when he said it, it crushed me. So I told my dude that day, like, this is my last year coaching with y'all. I had to coach my own kid. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I started coaching again. I wanted to coach my own son. And now we're talking 2 years later. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I started.
Yeah. Anything else you want to say before we close out?
Shit, I'm trying to go. We go to Miami in a few weeks, man. Father's Day weekend.
Father's Day.
Trying to get that done, and then we go back to Vegas for nationals. And obviously last year we ain't played because of COVID, but the year before we losing the national championship. I won at the buzzer, so I got some unfinished business. Lost to J.R. Ryder and Mike Bibby's team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I know I blew the game, so I got to go back and get my get back.
And we checking out y'all in the street sports. Hollywood Yellow. It's 1200 around here. The field report. Check my Instagram page, Ramall 216, RAMALL 216, and we out of here. Peace and love. Jay Holmes, one of the best.
Appreciate it.
Thanks to K Strong for letting us shoot here. Shout out to all the Heights alum. And hey, in the words of Bill Parcells, if they want you to cook the dinner, they at least have to let you shop for some of the groceries. We out.